at many times, basically almost since he's joined the league. This is a team that I think has fallen short so many times on the international stage. Why not now? You bring on this guy, Mist. T-Base mentioned him just a second ago. And this is the guy who's going to bring that stability to that FaZe Clan squad. And you talk about them defensively, bring that consistency. That's what FaZe has been missing. And Mist is the guy to bring it in.
But I mean, if you just stepped out of a time machine and you were maybe from last season, Moist versus FaZe, you step out today, Moist versus FaZe, it's a very different matchup now. Both teams making a key move. Moist, I don't know how much of it was voluntary. Vatira was such a key part of this Moist team, and we see Moist concede this first goal, and it's no surprise that First Killer's the one putting it in.
And what happened here? Misses a good flick. Astral the last man back. And just did not get the read. Took off the lock break. See his eyebrows raise on that one. He knew that one was a goof from Astral. And a rough start there from Moist as they let in a weak one. And you can't give away freebies when it comes to FaZe Clan.
I mean, Astral, the player who has been trying to fill Vatira's shoes. And they are a big pair of shoes to fill. Astral, though, a late flip reset. Forcing the save out of Typical. First Killer marching the ball downfield. Nice challenge there. Will pinch it up. Joyo on low boost. Picks up a small pad. First Killer off the ceiling with plenty. Ground pinch. And it gets too much height. Normally, that's not a problem you have with ground pinch.
Yeah, somehow got that one to go a little bit high. You talk about the shoes trying to be filled on the Vatira side, but for Moist, just in general, they've been a team that the expectation from fans and I think from analysts is very, very high. Their worst finish internationally has been a top 8. And how about a tie game here as Rise gets one back from Moist Esports?
Targeting First Killer, Typical just missed on the sidewall. And First Killer, when you're mid flip like that, you can't make any adjustments. You can't go for a dodge. Easy demo there for Joyo. Wide open net for Moist, so FaZe give one back. We are all tied up.
Moist trying to continue that success on LAN. They won the Spring Major, finished second at the Winter Major last season. Like I said, went out top 8 at Worlds, which I think for most people was actually a disappointing finish for them with how successful they've been. You said they've been kind of that Cinderella story, that story that everyone could get behind. And now they come in with Astral. They look a little bit different. Are they the real deal still here into the LAN?
And Moist, the 5th seed out of Europe. They just edged their way in. FaZe, though, looking to bring this to Moist. Test the defense. We're seeing some testing going on right now. Mist off the backboard. Rebound is Typical, and it's blocked. Joyo staying on the backboard. Getting 50'd by First Killer. Mist moving in. Astral touchdown. Rise trying to control it. Astral sneaks out to get that corner boost, but was it too greedy? It might have been.
Whoa. What a little 1-2 in the box there between First Killer and Typical. And that ball bopped out to Typical. He knew exactly where to put it, right on the head of First Killer. He gave it right back. And the teamwork there from FaZe Clan, wonderfully executed to go back up by 1.
FaZe, historically, a pretty decent track record against teams from Europe. 5-2 overall. Again, it's a different team now with Mist. But First Killer, he is a player that really can make a difference no matter who they're playing.
And who's handed those losses to FaZe? It's been Moist internationally. And again, as you mentioned, FaZe a different team, Moist a different team here. No Vatira. But FaZe have been trying to figure out Moist here on the international stage. Game 1 so far going in their favor, just under 2 minutes to play.
Typical launching it down, not the best touch from Astral. It's a nice pinch from Rise, will relieve some pressure. Joyo tipping that ball. First Killer looping around, didn't get the best hit downfield. And now Moist trying to equalize. Rise with a tip. Has Astral in the middle, but couldn't find him on the pass. First Killer around Astral, now on the attack.
It's denied there by Joyo. It's a good block. We're seeing a big stalemate. FaZe has spent a little bit more time in the final third here, of course, up by 1. but Moist been turning them away. And into the final minute we go. Moist here have an opportunity, no one there to follow up. You can see how deep Moist were sitting, and First Killer somehow able to get the read on the clear so quickly. Less than a minute now. Astral trying to make the difference. He's got options to his left, but can't catch up to the ball.
The demo as well, typical taking out Rise. But Rise on the respawn will catch it into a dribble, the flick. It looks like a team bump as well. Or no, never, sorry about that. Typical's car is just blue.
Typical, a player that's been afforded a lot more freedom now on this FaZe Clan squad, now that Mist is here. You see him express himself a little bit more mechanically, individually here on FaZe. It's not just the First Killer show. Typical's been able to move up a lot more into the final 20 seconds now. Typical denying the initial clear.
Another bump.
Bumps one out of the way. Mist goes directly at net, and Rise racing back off the crossbar makes the save. Another shot, well wide. Rise again. Denies, FaZe, locking in Moist here in the final seconds. Moist tangled up in the midfield. That one's gonna drop. One more bounce. Oh. Whoa, hold on. That one denied by Mist. As the pre-flip almost saved Moist, but in the end,
wow.
FaZe Clan scrape by one.
Yeah, that was a scary ending there for FaZe, but they managed to walk away with the victory. FaZe goals from Typical and First Killer. I mean, you might have come into this game expecting some fireworks, but this one was a brawl.
Yeah, very, very close between these two. FaZe 6 demos to the 4 of Moist. It feels like this one was very even here in game 1.
And also, if as you'll see on the scoreboard, Astral failing to break 100 points there. So that, I mean, we saw the very first play of the game, First Killer launched that shot, Astral jumped up for it, just didn't make contact. And you wonder if he jumped or maybe positioned just a little bit differently, would he have been able to even get to that ball? I think we'll have to see another look on the replays. But it was a tough game for Astral and a tough game for Moist.
A lot of fans, I think we do as well, kind of ask what do teams do to really prep into this major. And I talked to Roll Diz, he was talking about what FaZe's prep looked like. In the Fall Invitational, Moist lost in round 5 in Swiss to Williams Resolve. FaZe Clan came to Europe and have been scrimming Williams Resolve to understand what Williams Resolve did against this Moist squad to take them down in that round 5 Swiss. Seems like they've got the right formula so far here through one game.
And on the other hand, I think you had mentioned that FaZe intentionally not playing Moist at all. Teams perhaps withholding some information about how FaZe plays.
Well, I talked to Astral and I was like, what do you think about FaZe? And he goes, no one in Europe's telling us anything about FaZe, and FaZe won't scrim us. So I don't know. We're gonna find out.
And they're finding out the hard way, honestly. As Mist puts in this with just 32 seconds in, a strong start for FaZe.
Another dunk there from Typical, really playing a big J-Naps role there as, just keeping that ball in play, finding the back wall, sweeping through the defense as they're getting the bump, and just opening up the net for his team. That's the job there for J-Naps on G2. He's been so well known, and he's doing it, Typical doing it here for FaZe as they go up by 1.
And Typical has been bumping quite a bit, even in the first game. Sometimes bumps more effective than demos. First Killer, up to Mist. Mist will leave that over to Typical. Typical, a weak shot, and it's popped up from Rise. Now Mist all alone, and Mist comes out on top, and that is why FaZe Clan picked him up.
And when FaZe Clan go a little bit too deep, they've got Mist back for him. That's been his job on all the teams he's been on, and right there is an improvement there from FaZe to not get scored on the counterattack. Mist brings a lot of stability, trying to prevent those double commits defensively. That's been the biggest criticism over the last couple of seasons now for FaZe. How many times they double commit on defense. It looks like they've been just holding on to stay above water a lot of times defensively. And now they're gonna have to field this one. Mist again, coming up big.
Mist, a player that will just sit and wait for you to take the shot.
There's the bump.
But the shot was too high. Another infield pass. That shot was low on target. A double commit from FaZe. And it was an eventuality. Moist, shot after shot, finally sink one in.
And that's a feel-good goal for Astral, trying to make amends here in game 2. Wonderfully placed to the left side, away from the defensive FaZe. But you could see Moist really chipping away at the defense, sweeping through a couple of them, getting a good couple of bumps on the defense there, and peppering the back wall. They're able to tie this game up.
Pinch. Send it back out to the middle. Typical Lobbed it up to Mist. Mist couldn't get the double. First killer trying to get a backward pass, but Typical was too far out of the play. Now on the ball. Gets the corner boost. Blocked by Joyo. Typical again at midfield. Mist got demoed by Joyo. It's just First and Sip trying to work this ball. Rise. Flip reset perhaps. Challenged by Mist. Back out to the mid where Joyo hits it back to the FaZe corner.
Good pressure here from Moist, just holding possession in the final third. Making it tough for FaZe. You can see them getting a little tangled up there between First Killer and Mist. First Killer goes straight into Rise, and Moist doing a good job there. Now, can they convert? Here comes Joyo. He'll drop it down, and Moist into the lead.
And he was so open for this double tap. You know, Mist was being chased down, didn't jump up early. That gave Joyo all the time in the world to go for that training pack double tap.
And give credit over there to Astral chasing Mist into the net. That's what you got to do against Mist and FaZe Clan. You got to chase them out of the net. Well executed there by Moist. Now they're hunting for more. Astral over one, takes the 50, comes out nicely here for Rise, plays it slow, gets more bumps. The shot went high, and Mist there cleared away.
Another great chance for Moist, and now we're starting to see Astral make some changes on how he's approaching this game. We're seeing him go more upfield and going for those bumps on the goal line. It has worked out for Moist already in getting a goal and that opportunity that very easily could have been another Moist goal.
And look how much time we've spent here on the FaZe side. Moist putting on so much pressure. No one's there to make this block from FaZe.
Was that a block or was that a post bounce?
It was off the post, but no one was making contact here to challenge. Nobody had boost from FaZe. They've now recouped a little bit, but still Moist packing on the pressure here. FaZe not able to break out. And First Killer will relieve the pressure for the moment here, but it's still in the hands of Astral. It's been clinical here halfway through game 2 from Moist. They've looked very strong in that final third now.
Drop down pass, Missed. Off the backward Rise. Finding Joyo. Now Astral. Stopped by Typical. Typical trying to get back to the ball, but didn't have enough boost to make the play. Now Joyo. First touch. Nice. Block on the second. First Killer gets a demo, but Rise stays on the play. Ball leaking back out to the middle. FaZe giving up a lot of space in the midfield.
Certainly not what you want to do, especially with the way the control has come out from Moist. A lot of poise from them now. Game 1 was a little shaky from them, but it has been full steam ahead. Rise, now Joyo. Just staying behind the ball, carrying it into the back wall, carrying it into the corner, forcing FaZe to take really poor challenges. And with less than 20 to go, it's still in possession of Moist. They have controlled this game. Halfway through now, another shot denied by Typical, and FaZe have no offense here.
FaZe just trying to prevent a third goal for Moist. Moist has been all over FaZe, and no one from FaZe able to get to that ball. Moist taking this win, and really, FaZe not spending much time on offense at all. Even looking at the scoreboard, forced to make 9 saves. They only had 4 shots.
15 for Moist, 15 shots.
3 shots, yes.
For Moist.
To just 3 for FaZe.
I mean, that paints a picture for you without even having to watch the game. Moist were all over them, and they only put away 2 goals, but it was enough to get the job done. And that's what you have to do against this FaZe Clan squad. Their weakest spot has always been defense, and when you can lock them in, this is what happens. You put up 15 shots, and you come out with a win.
As we take a look at the replays from this game, Moist started off with Astral leading the charge. Astral scoring the first goal, then also getting the bump on Mist. We even saw him open up another scoring opportunity that Moist didn't put away. But this was a bounce back game for Astral, who last game, he did not even break 100 points. And I mean, that was an anomaly in itself. The last time that happened was December 5th, 2020. So Astral, not the best first game, but in this next game, he bounces back, and he really was what I thought put Moist over the top.
He looked great in game 2. Nervy in game 1, fine, shake it off. And he certainly did that. The Des talked about how great he's been on land. Certainly no doubt about that. And now Mist, can he get back in time? That was a weird flip, but I don't think he was able to catch up to it, and Rise poking it free.
Yeah, first killer, he didn't challenge, and that one just goes the distance. I don't know what to tell you.
So Moist starting off hot here in game 3, a dream start for them as they've just pushed FaZe back into that corner that they were in all of game 2, it felt like. And I think if you're on the FaZe side now, we've given the compliments over to Moist, and they've earned them. They looked great there at the end of the previous game. You look at FaZe though, and you start to think about how do you get out of your own half and keep control? That's been the big issue. They found a few clears, but they can't hang on to the ball at the moment.
A lot of their offense has come from first killer. First killer, second in scoring in North America, leading in assists. Mist and Typical, they both score a healthy amount of goals themselves, but first killer usually is that rock for FaZe Clan. We'll see if he can get activated. Typical with a block, and now Mist gets dunked on. First killer racing back. It's a 2-on-1.
Great touch there from first killer, but the follow-up was even better from Moist. FaZe Clan cannot get locked in here. Moist have been great at just running out the clock. Mist can't get the touch. Now first killer will have that one get away from him. He had options to his left. He also had the option to take the shot. Still Typical working his back wall here. FaZe now trying to control. Mist to the sky, looking for the backboard. It will come back down to Typical. I think he tried to play it over to first killer, but a little messy on holding onto the ball from FaZe. And back the other way we go.
Zero boost for Joyo here. I'll have to retreat. No, it stays in the play, and the ball still finds its way over to FaZe. Astral cutting off the escape. It's a miss in the air. It's a bit chaotic for both teams. FaZe,
whoa.
I don't even know what's happening, and somehow it works out to the benefit of Moist.
What happened here? First killer went into this backwards, and it was fine.
Oh, first killer, he missed, jumped and hit first killer. First killer was right above his head. He got goomba'd by his own teammate. That hurt. That has to hurt.
That hurts if you're FaZe. You can see my face right now. It's not a good one. It's
like
all scrunched.
Like you ate a sour grape.
Yeah, it's all scrunched up. I don't like it. FaZe. These were the mistakes that you bring Mist on to prevent, and they're making it here on this big stage.
Just a little bit of awkwardness. I mean, you even saw it with that first goal with first killer. Not challenging, and now this is just falling apart for FaZe. Moist putting in a third goal. Typical went off the ball. No one was there to follow. I don't even know what you say about that.
Hey, if you're Moist, you're going to take it. I mean, FaZe are falling apart at the moment. You got to give credit over to Moist. They have done a great job.
Oh my goodness, I just realized. This is the teammate's curse.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
I guess FaZe is not good enough to overcome her. At least that's what it seems like right now. Moist taking full advantage. Typical going for the pass, rebound out to Mist, and Mist can't make the shot, which is a bit surprising. Normally Mist so good when that ball comes out to him. He actually leads North America in shooting percentage.
That's not surprising. He's been that way for a long time, but right now it's 0% here in game 3. Moist all over FaZe. And FaZe, I think, really kind of falling apart too. They've given away a lot of free touches to Moist. Joyo, who's been a monster here in this series so far. Typical, can he put this one away? Rise comes through, sweeps it out for Moist.
Mist. Solo play opportunity. Going for the triple tap, but it was well read. Joyo gets a nice handoff to Rise. Now a pinch back. This game has been all Moist, and we have seen FaZe struggle defensively. They've made a few mistakes that have cost them offensively. We saw first killer put that shot high that was passed out into the mid. Mist didn't make strong contact on the rebound that was out to. I mean, there's not really much positive to point to for FaZe, whereas Moist, they're just sailing.
Yeah, it's tough, especially watching the last 2 games from FaZe, or I should say game and a half from FaZe, to find a lot of positives. even when they've gone downfield, they haven't been able to hold on to the ball or that final shot. Maybe a couple good passes. That final shot, though, does not come out with any power or well off target. And again, you have to give credit over to Moist. They've looked so strong, and I think it's a combination of poor clears and solid defensive positioning from Moist that have just spelled disaster for FaZe. Moist really haven't had to do a whole lot, wait for FaZe to make the mistakes, and clean it all up.
Astral trying to add one more to the tally. But I think you're right, Corelli, and they have capitalized on those mistakes. They really have punished FaZe. And this is, I think, tough for a lot of FaZe Clan fans to witness. This was supposed to be the team.
That's what Let's go!
And you can hear the hype from Rise. Rise,
He's
getting excited. I mean, this is not what I expected. I think many people were thinking that, Moist, they've been struggling. Astral coming in, filling in for Viteria. Moist wasn't the same Moist, that they have been. Talking about the identity of the team, it felt like it was lost, but they come in against a FaZe Clan that won the Fall Open in North America. They looked like a super team doing it.
Yep.
But in this game, Moist, they just took them out to the wheelie bin.
And again, it's a 4-0 scoreline. And this time, FaZe don't even really put up the save 4 to the 10 shots of Moist. Yeah.
Hello, Joyo.
Hello, Joyo.
It is an honor to be covering your game right now.
You're looking good out there, buddy.
He can tell he's feeling good too.
Yeah.
But he does have a nice down jacket. He doesn't need hand warmers. He's keeping the core warm.
That's right. That's right. But on the pitch, man, he is looking good here today. Just keeping the play alive for Moist, even the half chances. I mean, even there, just staying in the mix, right? And those mistakes are coming out from FaZe. And just being that annoying player that Joyo can be, especially on the ball when he has a little bit of space. Boy, he is so much fun to watch. And I think right now, Moist, they have been all smiles. They've been talkative. They've been yelling. They've been getting up, getting loud here. And I think for FaZe, when you look, I was looking at their cameras when they lost. It was silence. They were just looking at each other.
I mean, all of those players, who's going to get loud?
Rolled his.
Yeah, good point. Good point. But I don't think we get to see the camera on him too much. Just to get to see.
But you're right. They are a quiet team. They're not super hype, and that's okay. But when you get in a situation like this, where you're down 2-1 in a best of 5, and you've been smothered for a game and a half, you need someone to get going. And FaZe doesn't have that guy. They do have to rely on their coach, and this is where I think World is, the coach that he is, and the guy that he is. You got to look towards him to kind of amp these guys up. And right now, they're going to need it more than ever. You can see little smile there.
Well, look at Rise. Are you seeing him? It looked like he was pointing at somebody, calling him out, and getting loud. And this, I mean, you can see the shake of the head by FaZe. This is
it's frustration.
Frustration, but also, I mean, they might be in the head of FaZe right now. Moist is really taking it to him.
Almost a response there from FaZe with missed double tap. The follow-up was there. And if you're FaZe, you have to stop the bleeding here. You can't allow Moist to build on this lead so early. Moist certainly going to try, though. Joyo, can he do it himself? He's got all of FaZe in front of him. And a good clear there from First Killer.
Typical tried to cut that play off, but Rise played it around him.
Oh,
and now Rise on low boost.
He's so good.
My, Rise is in FaZe's head.
He's so good. He's got everyone jumping. He's got everyone diving. He's got him on a string. And he's putting away a second for Moist.
I mean, he's got no boost there, but he's faking like, oh, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm going to use my flip. No, I'm going to take this back down to the ground. I'm going to fake you out.
Make it
unbelievable stuff there from Rise. You just got to play the part.
Making FaZe look like puppets. He pulls the string on all of them. 2-0 now for Moist. And FaZe, they need something. They need anything. Typical lets this one go. Missed. Has to be placed well. And it's off the crossbar and in. FaZe Clan on the board here.
Corell, you said FaZe had to stop the bleeding. Does that stop it?
Yeah. You cut the lead in half. You get one back, especially early here. You got 3:50 on the clock. Get something going for this team, right? We've been talking about the hype. That's something to be excited about. To get back into this game 4 and to not allow Moist, especially at a 3-0 lead, not here when you're on match point.
Astral moving upfield. Trying to take matters into his own hands. Joyo catching on the dribble, and we've seen multiple times now, Corelli, Moist being able to possess the ball near the midfield with no one from FaZe around.
Oh
but
my.
hold on a second, Typical catching Moist out.
And there's the fist bumps coming out from FaZe. They get their tie game.
And that was a pass from Astral.
And that was an errant touch coming out from Moist, and you haven't seen too many of them from Moist here in this series overall. A bit of a gift from Astral there, and FaZe certainly going to take advantage, despite maybe them being a little bit down in the dumps right now. They will take anything you give them. They're still good enough, and a tie game here.
Rise. Stopped by Mist. Joyo, lovely first touch. Off the ceiling, going for the 50. Rebound is good! You cannot give space to Joyo.
And look at him, uncontested. It's like he's in free play. Nobody gets a touch on it until he gets to the back wall, and Typical's touch is too soft. Rise it's a tap-in for him at that point, and Moist, again, making it look easy. It's beautiful from Joyo.
And that first touch from Joyo, that is so good. It's tough to get that perfect touch, time it so well. Joyo just makes it look easy. First killer. Lobbing it across the middle of the field, and give and go attempt, but Typical didn't have enough boost to get the touch he was hoping for.
And I think ever since Rise faked out the whole team, they've been a little bit more wary to go straight into the tackle there. You can see a lot of respect given over to Rise, even when he didn't have the best touch. Now he's going to drop it down a little bit too high. And now the break here for FaZe. Missed. Looking to go under the bar, and now it comes down, it goes over him. He was looking for the double tap, but a tough bounce. Here comes Joyo, uncontested again, all the way to the box. Rise, can he put it home? Missed on the in and out save, will make it go wide, and still it's coming across the box. And now FaZe trying to get their bearings here defensively, and a good clear for Mist.
And that was the chance for FaZe. That was an opportunity to tie the game. You saw what Mist wanted to do. It was the right call, just couldn't execute, and now Moist, via the bumper of Astral, extend their lead to 2, and Rise was the one who got that play mixed up. You saw FaZe late challenge again on Rise, making that solo play. It just leaks out to Astral.
And Astral, he has been a shooter here in this series. After game 1 especially, he got his bearings here. And when that ball pops out, he's been placing it into the corners, and now no one's home again. Rise has no orange player in front of him, and Moist, 5-2.
I mean, you even see First Killer's camera. Hand on his chin. He's thinking, you know what do we got to do? And at this point, I don't know what you can do.
I mean, nothing has gone in their favor, and you can't take away what Moist has done. They have smothered FaZe ever since game 1. Astral trying to take it all the way to the house. As FaZe have struggled defensively. Something that we didn't really expect. You expected them to figure this out here at this point.
I think the defensive struggles are surprising, but also offensively, we didn't really see much from First Killer. We didn't see much from Mist in terms of, if he's the leading shooter, 31.31% shooting. Number 1 in NA, had that opportunity to double tap the ball in to tie the game. Couldn't do it, but First Killer brings it late. This is what we expected from the beginning, Corelli.
Yep, and there he is. He's coming alive here now in game 4, and they're going to need him. Down
Was
by
that
2.
A double? I think you got 2 there, but wasn't able to pick that out. First Killer, a heck of a shot.
Just over a minute now. FaZe, have they found their footing? Can they find any offense, or is it Moist who will just continually eat them up here in the last couple of games? The control, the precision from Moist has been fantastic, but now Mist, that shot goes just high. And
that's
caught
wide
out
open
again.
net.
There's no one there.
This has been devastating for FaZe. Look at First Killers. He's just leaned back.
And I don't blame him. This has been frustrating. You're watching no one be back for FaZe. It's 6-3. A huge collapse, but it's not just this game, James. It's something that's plagued them ever since they won the first game.
And that First Killer goal, as beautiful as it was, even that, I don't think is enough to bring FaZe Clan back into this game. Moist doing some victory laps. Final 30 seconds, Corelli. And we just look back on this series and just reflect. You know, this was not the FaZe clan that we expected to come out. Some defensive errors, offensively didn't have a lot of bite.
Absolutely, and on the flip side though, for Moist, I mean, this has been fantastic from them. You talked about them being a different character coming into this LAN, and they have looked good here against FaZe. Time ticking away, just garbage time here. Moist gonna come out on top in 4.
And this is a bit shocking. The Moist team searching for their identity. I think they found it here against FaZe.
The cameraman's getting in there.
Joyo, just he's a treat. He's a treat.
We love him.
And he says hello to FaZe, and he says goodbye.
And that's him waving goodbye. He said hello earlier. That's him saying bye-bye. Thanks for playing. Try again. That final game, Moist put up 6 goals. That's the same amount of goals that FaZe scored in the entire series.
And for FaZe, Pirelli, this was a team that made the move to bring in Mist. First Killer even said it in his interview, I am tired of finishing top 4. I just want to win one of these things. Well, what does this series have? What do you think about this series? Do you think they have the ability to win an entire major, to win an international event after what you just saw?
Well, if anyone just watched that one series, everyone would say no. But I do think that FaZe can bounce back. I mean, this is a team that, undeniably is a good team. If you're tired of finishing top 4, you're a top 4 team. You've been very good.
Yep.
So, but when you come into when you start your major off like this is a very sour note for FaZe.
And how much of this series, Curly, do you think was Moist taking FaZe down, and how much of it do you think was FaZe not being able to take advantage of the opportunities they had?
I think it's 50-50. I think it's Moist playing a great game, but it's also FaZe just making a lot of horrible mistakes. And Moist is a good enough team, of course, to take advantage and to take advantage of the opportunities where the net is just wide open. I mean, there's not even an orange player on their own half.
And I mean, you even saw, I think the one category where Moist was clearly ahead as well was the hype. You heard Rise yelling even from the caster box. And that kind of hype, that certainly helps lift up a team.
Hello, it's my turn, James. And then it's going to be his turn because these guys are killing it. We got Joyo with me. This was, give him the wave. Phenomenal. Even when you're not talking, you guys got a little spice to you. The energy is high. You guys probably couldn't hear it at home, but sitting beside her, you guys just did not stop talking. You were on it the whole time. Is this a strategy coming in, or you guys just like that all the time?
I mean, we're just having fun. I don't know. We're just turbo chilling, doing our thing, good friends, so why not?
Why not? And it's working too, because it felt like you guys got in the heads of FaZe there. I mean, I think it was game 3. They just started making a ton of mistakes. And you guys are like, all right, we'll take these goals going down the entire field with no one back. Do you felt like you were causing that disruption, or was something going on with FaZe?
I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe some stuff we said got in their head. Rise was talking a lot, but, the only person who can get in someone's head in the studio is Calm, so I don't know.
Yeah, and he was doing that earlier too. But you guys are honestly almost on par. I really hope there's a comms video that comes out for this after, because this was phenomenal. But I want to talk about coming into this regional, because this major. It did feel like maybe there's a little bit of roughness coming into this, but the team looks to have sorted that out, at least based off this match here. What was the focus for the team coming into this major, and do you feel like you guys are accomplishing that?
I mean, we just came in. We didn't have any plan. We're just playing how we want, and I mean, we're LAN players. Look, Astral on Carmine at the end of the season, he was peaking. Me and Rise obviously have some LAN achievements. We might not be the best online, but as soon as we come to LAN, we bring our A game.
And you're absolutely bringing it. I just want to also mention here before we head off that you guys are hyped, you're energetic, but you also know to bring things back down. Right before you came on camera, you're like, okay, we gotta focus. Still lots of games left. Even during that game, I heard there's still time left, guys. There's still time. You guys put a good focus on that. Are you always well aware that you need to make sure you maintain level heads?
I mean, I'm quite quiet. Astral's also not the loudest, but when Rise starts screaming, sometimes he says, we still need to win. We need to take our time and stuff. Maybe he's telling it to himself, telling it to us as well, because we're getting hyped. But we know how to close out our series, so we're just letting ourselves know.
It seems to work though. Give him one more on the way out. Give him one more on the way out. We're gonna go back to the